Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'd like to take a look at a Turtonator deck for the CU Cup. So Turtonator is a really cool Pokemon. It is a Dragon type, which I do think is a bit of a shame. Like, I would have much preferred it if this would have been a Fire type, just to hit for better weakness on Metal types and things, but still, can't complain. 110 HP, pretty solid for a basic. Has the attack Explosive Jet for 3 Fire Energy, so a bit expensive, but discard any amount of Fire Energy from your Pokemon, and this attack does 50 damage for each card you discarded in this way. And yeah, that's basically the deck. We play 12 Fire Energy and all the ways of accelerating them. So, like, the main way, of course, is going to be Welder, which says attach up to 2 Fire Energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon if you do draw 3. So it's like a pseudo draw engine / way to accelerate energy. Definitely the best supporter in the deck. And in all honesty, you could probably make room for like a pal pad or something, because like I've never really needed to use switch cards in all the games I play with this deck. Like, you do not need to switch really. Like, switch cards a bit overrated. So yeah, maybe like remove some switches in favor of some like additional welder recycling. But aside from that, we also have Power Hourglass, or like Powerglass as it's actually called, which basically just allows you to restore an energy after your turn is ended. And this will basically just mean that after you've discarded 2 energy to do, say, 100 damage, you can get Powerglass to work to bring back 1 energy. And then at that point, assuming you still have 1 left attached to Turtonator, you can then just manually attach another energy next turn to do like 150, for example. So quite nice, pretty good. You could also use EXP share as an alternative or something to modify the HP. But to be honest, I think Powerglass just works out quite nicely, and it's been working well for me personally. So that's a tool card of choice in this list. Also got things like Roto-Stick in here because, like, yeah, Roto-Stick's not like the best card in the world, but it's effectively just another copy of Pokégear. Like, it's another way of trying to find Welder, especially in those earlier turns, because one of the cool things about this deck is you can just try and go second, and then if your opponent just opens with a single basic, you can very easily go for that donk play and do like 150 damage. So quite nice. You can also try and do it with Turbo Patch, but it's just a bit more like flippant and inconsistent. And Turbo Patch in general has not served me very well for most of the time. It's a bit of a sad card. Like, I still think the deck needs it really, but at the same time, it's a bit of a weak card. But 50% chance to get energy back. Like, it's definitely worth playing. But at the same time, it is a coin flip, so it can feel a bit rough. Also got 4 copies of Green's Exploration, which says search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. And you can only use this card if you have no abilities in play. So as an alternative build, like, you could play this with like Tatsugiri and trying to find Welder that way, which I think is, maybe an idea worth exploring at some point in the future. But for now, I just wanted to play the quad Greens build. So Greens is definitely a decent supporter. It's also like the only other supporter this deck runs. So quite a nice option, if you just want another chance to find welders and things from the deck, as well as nest balls. So you can like chain multiple Turtonators. But really, that's it for cards. Like, Giant Hearth is your stadium of choice. Although if you're having like a rough time and you really do not like Festival Lead, then you could play Celtic Swell. But to be honest, I think Diplin's still like a terrible matchup for this deck anyway. So yeah, probably not like a good time against Diplin or Corvuswire, because they have Cramorant, and Cramorant can one-shot you, so yay. Not very fun. So like maybe a Field Blower as well to help deal with the Hops deck, but I think overall those are just bad matchups in general. Like, you can make them a little bit more favorable with cards like Celtic Swell and Field Blower, but I think for what it's worth, it's just better to make the deck a bit more consistent and have a better chance at beating other decks. But yeah, also got Fire Crystal in here, which says put 3 Fire Energy from the discard pile into your hand, allowing you to just chain welders more effectively. And yeah, that's kind of a list in a nutshell, not really much else to talk about. It is really fun, to be honest, and I do recommend giving this a go if you're just looking for a very fast, explosive deck. There's like not really many turbo basic decks in this format. So yeah, it's been Ember Power. Let me know what you think about this deck down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Okay, it's the Drill Run one. Really? That's annoying. Okay. That is kind of a pain, to be honest. That is kind of a pain. They do have to flip a coin, though, so maybe they flip tails. That'd be lucky. I do like the sphere, though. It's cool. So yeah, there's a Slowking. Slowking's a bit scary. They can't really power it up in one turn, though, if they attach to Fearow. So, like, maybe they use Raihan, or, like, counter energy potentially. Okay, so there's an Arvin. What does Arvin get them? I'm assuming my opponent will flip heads here. Like, just always assume your opponent will flip heads. Always. Just always. Alright, Arvin for what, actually? Dunno. Nest Ball? Puffin? A tool card? I don't know what tool card they would want, though. I mean, they're 20 damage short of getting a 1-hit kill on this Turtonator. Maybe they just want, like, a quick ball? Okay, Lucky Helmet, fair dues. Lucky Helmet's not bad in this format, actually. I quite like Lucky Helmet. Might add it to my tool drop list. Okay, so what they doing here? Nest Ball for a Slowpoke, maybe? Or like a Ralts? I'm assuming they play Curlia, if they play Fire Crystal. Nest Ball for a... Let's see it. What are you getting? I'm guessing they're checking their prizes. That's why they're taking so long. What are they doing? Choose. Okay, a Smutchums. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, we don't really have any Gust. That's the only problem with that. So they can do the whole Kyurem thing, which is annoying. Right, this will be a heads. Oh, it was a tails. Well, that's surprising. Not every day you see that. You know, usually it's a heads for your opponent. I don't think I need or want anything in particular off Acro Bike, so I'll go ahead and use Welder to this guy. I will draw 3. I will then use an Acro Bike. An Hourglass would be nice. Definitely the Turbo Patch. Energy goes in the bin. Game's kind of crashing. Right, Turbo Patch. Would be great if this was a heads. Nope. Sigh. Right, Acro Bike. Hourglass, please. Yay, Hourglass. Although Pokégear is kind of cool. I will... I mean... Yeah, no, I think it can just be this one, to be honest. Then I'll attach here, yep. Then we do have to discard 2 energy here. So we use Explosive Jet. We have discarded a lot of energy already this game, which is kind of worrying, but I don't think we should be running out of steam anytime soon. Like, we at least have a bit more time. Like, decks like Turtonator fared a lot better in multi-prize formats, ironically, because of, like, just the whole 2-prize per KO shenanigans. Because how many energy are we down already? Okay, quite a few. I was going to say, I want to check, but... okay, 4. Yeah, not too many. So yeah, little smoochums over here. So if they do get Kyurem, they just win, no matter what, which is cool. Cool for them, at least. Yeah, smoochums is cool, though. See, this was, like, my biggest issue with Slowking in this format, was, like, how on earth do you power it up? And I came to the conclusion it's probably just Raihan, but, like, smoochums is a good option. So I think if this format, like, ever comes back in the future, I'd be happy to try this out. I don't think I have enough time, really, to try out any more decks in this format before the new set drops, but smoochums with Slowking would be kind of cool. They might also just knock me out with Super Cyborg, like they don't actually need the Kyurem play, but you know, it's cool if they do. Roto-Stick. Yeah, we'll take these. Greens is kind of cool. Means we can get an Hourglass. And I guess a Turbo Patch is fine. Yeah, we'll do that. We shall do this. Right, Turbo Patch. Heads. Nope. I don't know about that card sometimes. Right, Powerglass on this guy. Then I probably will... Yeah, I mean, I have to, actually. What am I saying? Crystal for 3 energy. Cool. Attach 1 to discard 1, and then we get it back, but then we get KO'd, so... Yeah, it's a merry-go-round. I mean, we are capping at 250 right now, so that's kind of cool. Right, 1 energy. That's what we want, though. Like, we want the easy, cheap, efficient KOs. So we're going to have to discard 3 energy to get rid of Slowking, which is a bit rough. Assuming they don't win just next turn, which they might. Alright, Fiery Flint. Cool. Not super useful, though. Yep. An energy back, please. Although I'm 99% sure you're a goner, but, you know, small victories. Field Blur would be annoying as well. Like, that's one thing to consider if you do commit your tool cards, but to be honest, I haven't really seen much of Field Blur in this format. It seems to have flown under the radar, quite literally. But yeah, we'll see what else they have. They haven't, like, attached an energy this turn, so they can commit an energy to a bench Pokemon. Keep them in the game in that way. They could also come in here with a Cramorant. Okay, there's the Academy at Night. Okay, just show me the Kyurem, please. I don't mind losing this way. I think it's cool. It's a bit more interesting than Diplin, at least. Alright, show me the Pokemon. Show me it. Also, what happened to our stadiums? Did we just... Or did they make us shuffle or something? Is that what happened? I feel like I had more Giant Hearth in my hand. No, just a Super Saiyan Bolt. Okay, wow. Cool. I wonder if they were trying to, like, psych me out into conceding there, but yeah, I wasn't going to be scooping. So yeah, kind of close. That was a bit tense towards the end. Then we can go for the Explosive Jet. Discarding 3 energy. This better be enough, by the way. If for some reason I'm not doing enough. Okay, 150. Cool.